I'm not reaching out the question.
Go elaborating.
Do you know questions?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the Big Game Conference. So today we'll be having the panelist section, and before that, let's do a quick sound check. And if you can see me clearly and you can hear me, please type 111 in the comment section. If you can see me clearly and then you can hear me, please type 11 in the comment section. Let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me. Our panelists are ready, and then we're actually doing a very quick sound check. So if you can hear me and then you can see me, type 111 in the comment section. Thank you, Deborah Nojeta. Okay, Ezekiel can hear me. Great. Ezekiel can hear me. Great. Chukuma Mary can hear me. I can see your comments. I can see your comments. Let's keep it in. Once I can get two other persons, I'll bring the panelists on stage. All right, great. So if you're live, just comment the states you are live from. Let's know where you are watching us from. All right, let's know where you are watching us from. Just comment your states. Okay, I can see you. Hugo Philip, I can see you in the comment section. So just comment where you are watching us from. Comment where you're watching us from. We are currently 6 persons that are live. Once we get up to 10 persons, I'm going to bring up the panelists on board, and then we'll just move with the speed of light. All right, Ezekiel from Edo State, you're welcome. Okoyemi from Oyo State, you're welcome. Deborah Nojeta from Owerri, Imo State, you're welcome. I don't know why I'm laughing about Deborah's name, please. But everybody's welcome. So currently we have 10 persons that are live with us. While we wait for most of the persons, I'll be bringing the panelists on board. So we have Content Grandmaster. So we have Content Grandmaster live here with us, and we have Sheyi Odemwingie. Welcome, guys. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah,
I can
great.
hear you.
Content Grandmaster, you can hear me clearly. Wow.
Yes, I can
See
hear
how
you.
beautiful we all look. Fine, fine men. fine men. I don't know why this thing is looking so masculine. Okay, we actually have a female panelist that's going to join us very soon. So we wouldn't be looking all masculine. So if you can hear the panelists, if you can hear Content Grandmaster, and if you can hear Sheyi Odemwingie, please type 222 in the comment section. let's know if there's anybody's mic that is not really loud and clear. Andrew from Abuja, welcome. Chukuma Mary from Enugu State, welcome. Ugo Philip from Ebonyi State, you're welcome. All right, apparently we can hear the panelists so loud and clear. And then we have 14 persons that are live here with us right now. We're trying to delay a little bit for others to, catch up with us so that, when they come up on board, they don't bring us back to ask questions that have already been answered. And while we are delaying, we hope the only female panelist among us will join us. I don't like why this thing is looking so masculine. It's supposed to be, this is my opinion, it's supposed to be a lady's thing, but we're all guys here. But it's all good. It's all good. All right, so in few minutes, let's start from Content Grandmaster. So in few minutes, Content Grandmaster, can we meet you? Just tell us a brief about you, what you do online, your name, and some other things that you can share with us before we can move into the question section.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Odemwingie-Disu, popularly known as Content Grandmaster. So first of all, I want to appreciate Esther, my opinion, for this opportunity, and happy birthday, belated birthday wishes to you. All right. So I am a content creator. I teach and create content targeted at boosting your visibility, productivity, and profitability. In essence, what I help you do is I help you become visible on the online space. I help you become more productive on the online space, and I help you become more profitable on the online space, leveraging on the power of content. Because as we all know, content is king. And imagine the online space without content, there will be nothing to breathe on. So content is like the oxygen of the online space. So I just had to chip that in. So that's why I'm basically on Instagram. My main platform is on Instagram at Content Grandmaster, where I share content creation tips, I share life tips, I share my processes, and I document my journey there. And also I'm on Twitter too. You can find me on Twitter at Odemwingie-Disu. So basically, if you want to learn content creation, if you want to boost your visibility with content creation, if you want to boost your profitability, and if you want to boost your productivity with content creation, I am your go-to guy. Thank you very much.
Wow. If you want to learn content, I am your go-to guy. After this section, I'm coming to your DM. After this
You're
session,
welcome.
all right,
Come
so
with
before we
money.
bring everybody to speak, I want you guys that are hearing me now to do something very quick for us. Please click on the share button on your YouTube and share this across social media. Tell them that you are live. Now, this section, if you can, this section possibly is for for a while we've been having a lot of persons say things like, I am a student, that's why I've not been succeeding. And trust me, every panelist here are undergraduates, they are still in school. So if you're an undergraduate here, and then you want every other person to benefit from this, please kindly hit the share button, hit it on your social media, all right? Hit it on your social media. Once you sent it, all right, once you click the share button, comment done here so I will know new people are actually doing that. All right, please share it on your social media, tell them we are live, put it on your WhatsApp, put it on your Facebook. It pays, all right? It pays for you to share these things with people. Trust me, they will be ever grateful that they got to join this kind of section because of you. So if you have not shared this section, please make sure you share this section. All right, please make sure you share this section. All right, so as this session is being shared, Sir Sheyi Odebode, can we meet you, sir?
All right, thank you very much, Festus. Good evening, everybody. I'm super excited. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever across the world you're listening to me. My name is Sheyi Odebode, and I'm smiling like my premier. So, belated happy birthday, my premier.
Well, you cannot be on that, my premier. That's good.
Don't try it. Then let's get into the history of that. Anyways, my name is Sheyi Odebode, and first things first, I love people to know me as a lead without a title apologist. What I mean by that is I believe leadership is not about title, and that you do not need a title to lead. So that is what I want people to always know me about. Leadership is not always about title, and you can lead without having a title. Anyways, I help beginners at public speaking become incredibly great, appearing confidently before any crowd. I teach people public speaking. I know everyone can speak in public regardless of their fear. So I help people crush their fear of public speaking and appear insanely great before any audience. I'm a student in University of Benin, Benin City, Nigeria. And yes, I love working for non-governmental organizations that are targeted towards society development, communal impact, and personal development. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and across every other channel as Shei or Debode. I'm looking forward to an interactive panel session with first us, with the content grandmaster and other panelists who are expecting
To
soon.
be sincere, I'm feeling intimidated. So it's only me that does not have, I don't have a profile. Is that what you are trying to say? This person is selling this person. But today I'm going to be calm. I'm not going to sell myself because my boss, my trainer, has actually said, don't sell yourself too much. But I'll still say myself, I'm the finest guy alive. Did you hear that?
First us, we know you, we see you.
I hope you don't hear that. All right, great. All right, great. So we'll move straight into this section. Now, so today we'll be talking about how best to make impact, influence, and income even as impact, influence, and income even as an undergraduate. Now, Shei said something outstanding. He said he is a public speaker. All right, and then content grandmaster. In fact, from the name content, you can't just be bearing content grandmaster. Do you know what it means to be a grandmaster in something? Maybe I should be calling myself an email grandmaster. Can I steal that?
You are free.
Maybe
You are free. You can take that.
start calling himself the public speaking grandmaster, that kind of thing. It pays to be a grandmaster, actually. All right. So basically, we'll be going straight into the question, and then this time we'll be starting with Shei everybody. All right. So Mr. Shei, the first question we're actually going to ask is, what led you to becoming intentional about making impact? What led you to become what led you to becoming intentional about making impact even as an undergraduate? What led you to becoming intentional about making impact even as an undergraduate?
All right, thank you very much. I got that question correctly, and I would want to answer it from 2 points. First of all, it means that I started making impact, and then the next thing is what made me intentional about it as an undergraduate. If I want to back my story, before I got into school, I had started doing some little stuff back at home while I was still a student in secondary school. You know, you belong to the Presbyterian Debate Society Club. You're someone people look up to in class, etc. So we get on to do activities, assist people to do stuff. In course of doing that, I realized that, oh, that was impact in one way or the other, and I was blessing the lives of people. Then, owing to background and the environment, we had a condition in geographical barrier, but I realized that people are doing so much. I love reading, and so when I read, my horizon is widening and broadening. And because of that, I get inspired to do things. And so usually, whenever I'm acting amongst my contemporary, I seem different from them. So it's easier for me to let them know, hey guy, why I did that was because of X, Y, and Z. And so I want you to do this so you can add more meaning to your life. And they go ahead to do that. And oh, they see me as someone who is positive and targeted towards growth and development. And they would want to follow me. So my impact began to tell on them. When I got into school, got into the University of Benin, I remember I was in 100 level that day, and I started asking questions because I love meeting people. So, hey, guy, what's up? How are you? Welcome. How far? How did you get to study this course, etc.? And they tell me so many things. Okay, what do you want from life about this? Blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about purpose and all. And sometimes when I realize getting those conversations with them, so many of them probably they're not too comfortable with it, but they do not have answers. They just say, I'm here in school, I'll just go through school and all of that. But me, before I came to school, I knew I don't want such life. I don't want to be, I just want to go to school. No, I wanted more beyond the classroom. So at that moment, after communicating to several persons, and I discovered that, I said, fine, I love public speaking. I've been doing that before I gained admission into school. So I decided every Thursday, I'll be addressing 1,000 students in my faculty TFR. Faculty of our every Thursday. So I began, I'll just drop some motivational speech, let's say for 5-10 minutes before 8 a.m. lectures. And I'll do that. And I realized that after consistently doing that for a while, there was a day I could not meet up. Someone walked up to me and said, Shei, today was Thursday and we didn't see you. At that moment, it dawned on me that some people actually were coming for my show. So to say, it now became a show. Every Thursday, who would come around to hear me listen to them. And I continued with it. I found that people were adding value, and the more I was adding value to myself, the more I felt the urge to also add value to other people. So I became intentional about that because I saw people who seemingly look like they do not know what they really want, and I felt I have the knowledge to help them, to guide them, and I decided to use my voice, lend my voice to that plight to give them a voice and direction. So that was when I got intentional in my 100 level. I believe as time continues in this conversation, I can tell you about 200 level, and now even as I am 400 level. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know that point where we feel like we're doing things and then nobody's watching. Like you always want to give up. Most times it happens. Sometimes even in social media, you post something, I feel like nobody's commenting. I want to give up. And now the day you didn't post, the day you didn't go to speak, somebody reminded you, Sashi, where are you? All right. And then that's great.
Right.
That's great. Thank you. Sashi. And now we're actually going to go over to Content Grandmaster. The same question that Sashi answered is that what led you to becoming intentional about making impact even as an undergraduate?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. My story is a very funny one, and I've never really gotten to share it on the online space. And I think this place will be the first place I'll be sharing this story. So it happened back then in November 2019. So I had this girlfriend. I finished secondary school in 2015. So I've been writing jams since then. I did not gain admission. So I met this girl. She was a girl then. Now she's a lady. So I met this girl in 2017. We started dating, and she gained admission in 2018 to study law at Bowen University. Said, okay, now nice one. So that fateful morning in November, after her birthday, it was on a Saturday morning. So I was calling her. So I called her 7 times. I was worried. I kept on calling. So by the time she got my missed calls, it was about 17 missed calls. I still kept on calling. So when I called her, she picked my call, and the next thing she would say is, don't you have anything busy to do with your life? Don't you have anything good to do with your life? Why are you waking up early in the morning and you are calling a lady? My God. She said, if I didn't mean you are busy with your life, you would have got something doing. And, you know, there's this kind of, that day I was like, my God. So it was that vexation that took me to the online space. You know, it was not that I wanted to be intentional with my life. It was that I was abused. You understand? I was insulted. So my ego was, trampled upon. So I went online, started searching for how I can get busy with my life, right? So I went to Facebook. I was scrolling on Facebook that fateful day, and I saw a free masterclass that had been held. You understand? I think they concluded the masterclass 2 days before I saw the flyer. So I reached out to the facilitator. I begged the facilitator to send me a compilation of the teaching. So when she sent me a compilation of the teaching, I discovered that what this lady taught were things that I actually know about. Like, I know all of these things. I can write. You understand? And it's just that I've been wasting my life writing love letters. You understand? It's funny. I've been wasting my life writing love letters, but I knew that, yes, I can do this thing. I know I can do this thing. So I told myself that, okay, fine. I've been insulted now, and she's actually right, because if I had something I was doing, I wouldn't be calling a lady very early in the morning. I wouldn't be giving her 15 missed calls. So I told myself that as from today, I will never put myself in a position whereby somebody is going to tell me that I'm not serious with my life. I will never put myself in that position where somebody will insult me that I'm not busy with my life, or I don't have anything good going on with my life. So that was the turning point for me. So I started writing, I had read a couple of books before then. So I started writing from the things I know. I started sharing motivation and all of that. Then it now happened that I discovered that the more I do this thing, the more I do it, I actually wanted more. I wanted more beyond just posting on Facebook. I wanted more beyond just writing, because then I did not know anything about creating content. So I started investing in courses. Listen, I did not have the intention of becoming the content grandmaster. I just wanted to come on the online space, influence people's life, and nobody should tell me that I'm not busy with my life. You understand? That was the truth. That was the motivation I started with. You see, Tony Omosho, so he said something. He said, when hunger knock your life, you will be focused. In fact, your focus will be focused. And it's true. There are some kind of insults that will make you think about your life. You see, it's just that most times when people insult us, we take them as bad stuff. Most times, insults will help you to actually get on the right course of your life. And that was what happened for me. So I told myself, I wanted more. I don't just want to be writing on Facebook. So I told myself, I want to influence people's life. And how did I start? I could not talk then on the online space. So what I did was I started joining Facebook groups and I started consistently writing on a daily basis. On a daily basis, I started writing. So I joined various challenges, various contests, and all of that. And some of them I won, some I didn't win, and all of that. So it was that journey that my mind began to get exposed to a wider a new kind of life. You understand? Because I started seeing people that are not as old as me. You understand? And these people are making impact. That you're a student does not mean you should live an impactless life. In quotes, please. That you're a student does not mean I was not even a student when I started. I was writing jam. You know, that moment when people are telling you that it's like village people are after you because you've written jam 4 or 5 times. You understand? So everything on me was just like a motivating factor for me to get serious with my life, to get intentional with my life. So when I started, I don't have time to explain all of the story, right? So when I gained admission, I began to see that, okay, what I was doing online, actually, I've been influencing people's life, because when I gained admission, when I was doing my registration, I got about 10 persons reached out to me asking me if I were a content grandmaster. So I was like, so what I was doing online, people are saying, and since I gained admission on a daily basis, whenever I go to school, I get to meet new people that comes to ask that, are you content grandmaster? I know you online. I've been blessed by your work and all of that. So that was how it started for me. It was a story of an insult. You understand? Somebody insulted me. So it made me going to think about my life. So I had to think about my life because of the insult. So that was what, motivated me to get intentional with my life. And here we are now.
I think the copywriters with us can just give us a nice headline. Finally revealed how content grandmaster became serious that after an insult. That's kind of cool. Your
Yeah, of
motivation,
course.
like, motivation is wild. All right, so
Yeah.
while content grandmaster was speaking, our last panelist actually joined us, Coach Naomi. So I'll be bringing her live right now. I'll be adding her to the stream. So welcome, Coach Ed.
Hey,
Can
good
you
evening.
this place was looking so masculine and so strong. Like, now I have a
Right.
feminine face with us right now. So thank you
Welcome,
guys.
Naomi.
Thank
I
you.
actually saw a lot of persons that were sharing this, and then they were commenting down
Welcome,
below.
boss.
Thank you for actually sharing this with other persons. All right. So welcome everybody. Now, Coach N, before he joined us, so before we move to the other question, before he joined us, we were actually asking them what led them to becoming intentional about making impact, even as an undergraduate. All right, because we've had a lot of persons, come up with this kind of excuse. I can't do this because I'm a student. I can't do that because I'm a student. So now we brought this panelist session up, to encourage people that feels like, no, I'm a student, I can't do this. If content grandmaster started with an insult, even as a jam bite, then anybody can. All right. So,
Okay.
Coach N, the question is, what led you to becoming intentional about making impact, even as an undergraduate?
Okay. So this question is actually very, very. If I explain with so much time, it's actually very, very long. But I'm just going to wrap it up. Then, actually, when I started my business, like over I think 5 years ago, I did not really start with the aim of starting a business. Okay, I don't know if there's something like this. I started by mistake. I started with trying to help myself. Do you understand? So what happened was, from a teenager, I was a teenager at that time. So my face was, I don't know if you've heard me talk before, you've heard this, my face was a mess. Like when you say hormonal imbalance, pimple and everything. And I knew that I was so beautiful, but I just knew that these pimples and everything couldn't leave. So long story short, when I found my solution that worked for me, I just felt like I needed to help other people too. Do you understand? So I started with giving maybe my friends and people around me the product I use for free. Then somebody said to me one day, are you sure you don't want to sell it? And I'm like, can I sell this thing? The person, and I said, where can I get container to sell it to? The person I said, okay, if you're in Benin, you know there's Ring Road. Let's go to Ring Road and buy container. So that's how I bought container and I started selling. I didn't even care if I was making profit or loss or whatever. When I took my business serious, very serious, truthfully, was actually when people in my class started calling me CEO. I was like, I don't get it. Is it so serious? Is it that deep? So because of all those things, I said, okay, we can actually make money from this business. So let's just, come on Instagram and do small things. Even if I didn't even have any prior knowledge. I guess I was just doing try and error. But the reason why how I started making impacts intentionally was not even with my business at then. It was in my coaching business, So I had a lot of entrepreneurs come to me. Maybe people see me on the road. They say, OHR? Are you know OHR? People were coming to me, and in my class, people started asking me questions. Maybe people that want to start their own business. They asked me, how did you start? How did you post? How did you do this one? So I became somewhat like a coach by force. Because I'm very gifted with teaching. I can teach very well. So I now find myself, okay, holding physical sessions with them. Okay, come to my hostel. If you're in Uniben, NDDC, as at then I was staying in NDDC. Come to my hostel by this time. I'll tell you how I did it. So it was like I was a coach. So then I saw that the problems that a lot of people were having, I could actually solve them. There were small problems, how to write caption for Instagram. Even if I was not even a pro, but there were small things that were working for me as at that time. So when I started noticing I was making profits in my business, I started, documenting my process down, how I did it. Then because people were coming to me every time, I just knew that I had to start developing on myself because I cannot keep repeating the exact same things that I tell them every time. Unintentionally, I just started, reading more books, attending more classes. The first time that I decided that I was going to charge money for anything that I thought was, I think in 2019, December 2019, I just called it 10x to Coach N. My friends normally call me N, my friends call me N. If you know me, you call me N, and I answered that. So because of all those people coming to me, some people said I didn't coach to it, Coach N, as a joke. So I just said, okay, 10x to Coach N. And I think in that thing, I had Kenny Wokoye, I had NK come on. And I don't know how. Still in the, can I do this? I can teach I think I had 100 participants pay 1,000 naira or so. After the 10x thing, people started sending reviews. People started saying how they have been greatly transformed. I was like, I think we'll take this thing very, very seriously. Do you get? So I now started intentionally now investing in what is in my head. So when people come to me to pay me for my knowledge, it's not like I'm just recycling the same exact thing I'm saying. So I started being intentional about what I hear, improving my knowledge and stuff like that. And from that time till now, I cannot even count the number of people that I've coached and that have tremendous results from my coaching. So I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah, that's really great. That's really great. From what I've actually heard from the three panelists, everybody had one or two persons that were in their life that moved them to continue. All right. So even as a coach, even as a content grandmaster, even as a public speaker, or even as anything you are actually doing, all right, you need people. And then content grandmaster needed an insult. Coach N needed friends. And then everybody needed somebody to ask, why did you not hold your section on Thursday? So that's great. That's great. So for those of you that are just joining us right now, we're actually having our panelist section today on the Big Game Conference. And then we actually have this set of beautiful and handsome undergraduates that are actually telling us how best to make impact, influence, and income even as an undergraduate. All right, so being an undergraduate is not an excuse because we're actually seeing big people. Let's see content grandmaster and 5 months eyeglass. Hope you know Buko. The concept of people that wear glasses. You're a content grandmaster, you're a genius. All right, so back to the next question. And then this is going to be the last question, apart from the questions that might be coming from the audience if we are fast. So in this one, I will just be wanting us to answer it in just five minutes. All right, 5 minutes per the panelist, so that we'll be able to see if we can take questions from the audience. So the next question, we're actually going to be starting from Content Grandmaster. He said the question is, as an undergraduate, how are you able to balance your academics and making impact and making money? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. How I'm able to balance my academics with my impact and my income journey. All right, this is a question that I've gotten lots of persons asked me, and the truth is, you're not spending 24 hours in school.
Yeah.
Let's start from there. You're not spending 24 hours in school, right? And you're not, most of the times, you're not even spending up to 18 hours in school, except you are the unserious type that you go to school and after lectures you have to do 3 hours meeting with your classmates. You understand? Those kind of meeting that you have to gossip about how the lecturer thought. You understand? The people that are making noise and all. Except you're that kind of person, you're not spending more than 10 hours in school out of 24 hours. You see, let me tell you something. It's not, there's something I tell people, it's not the intensity at which you do something, you understand? It is your consistency. So I go to schools from 8 a.m. and I come back by 3 p.m., which means that I have from 4 p.m., let's say from 4 p.m. till 12 a.m. at night to myself. And I have from 12 a.m. till 8 a.m. to myself. So now, the thing is, understand how your school works. So for example, I don't have classes every day. I have classes only on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Wow, that's a
So
plus.
I have classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So which means Tuesdays and Thursdays I don't have classes. Understand? But that I don't have classes does not mean I will not read my book. So this is what I do. I try as much as possible to first cut down on the things that distract me. So I'm not always online. My data is always on, but I'm not always online. That's number one thing you need to understand. So because you are trying to make impact on the online space, you are trying to make money on the online space, does not mean you have to be online 247. You understand? I think that's one of the mistakes people make. They try to be online 247, replying chat, like as if you are doing fast and furious. So somebody sends you a message and immediately you've responded. You understand? I cut down on the things that distract me. You understand? I turned off my notifications for most of my social media apps. You understand? And I have a routine. So for example, it's about understanding what works for you. So I am a morning person. And most times I wake up by 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. So after I've said my prayer, let's say from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., I try to grab a book, you understand, a personal development book, and I read from, let's say, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. or let's say 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. before I start the day activities. It's not about you reading 100 pages in a day, you understand? It's not about, I schedule my posts, you understand, in the morning, because I know that I might not have time during the day. So you see, the thing is, we focus on too many things that are not supposed to, that are not necessary for us to do. So we try to make
So we apologize for the cut off from content grandmaster. I think his network has shut him out.
that we are not
Welcome to
supposed to
Nigeria.
focus on. When you channel your energy on the wrong thing, I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can. I
Yes,
can.
yes, I can hear you now.
All right, you can just go ahead.
Okay. So a lot of times we focus our energies, we major on the minor, you understand, and we minor on the major. What are the activities that gives you the most results? You see, on a daily basis, there are 5 things you should be doing on a daily basis. Number one, you should be studying. Number two, you should be sharing what you studied. Number three, you should be selling. Like Emeka Nobi said, if you are not selling, you are wicked. You should be selling. It might not necessarily be a product that people will pay you for. You can sell an idea. You understand? If you go on the online space and are telling people you cannot sell, you're actually selling the idea that you cannot sell. That's what most people don't know. I cannot sell. You are selling the idea that you cannot sell. You understand? And the fourth thing you should be doing is studying for your academics. You understand? Studying for your academics. And the fifth one that me I like is not compulsory for you. That me I like is sleeping. You understand? So those five things, I try as much as possible to ensure that I do it in a day. You understand? So in the morning, I structure my day. Okay, I have class from 8 a.m. to this time, and from this time to this time. So what am I going to do during the breaks? The idea is that you should not let any time pass by that you are going to waste. As an undergraduate, you don't have time to waste. So you need to treat your time judiciously. You need to treat your time judiciously. One of the things is you need to cut down on the things that distract you. And if you know that you can actually delegate some task, you should please delegate it. So for example, I'm a content creator. I don't do my designs myself. So when I create videos, I don't edit my videos myself because I've taught people how to do those things. And thank God for the gift of men, they are willing to help me with it. So there are some tasks that I delegate so that I can have time to focus on the things that matter. I think my 5 minutes is exhausted, so I will just stop here. But I believe you got one or two things from that.
Excessively. Even me that is a graduate, I'm even writing. The part where you say we should focus on the major and minor on the minor. Guy, this rhyme, eh? And then, guys, you've actually heard the 5X. For those of you who didn't hear it, first of all, you have to study, share what you studied, all right, then sell, study for your academics, and finally sleep. All right, most of you that feel like, okay, I think somebody has actually shared it. Let me just pin it to the screen. Most of you that feel like not sleeping is an advantage. Sorry, like you want to stay up till like 2 a.m. and then you want to brag about it. I didn't sleep. Please be sleeping so you don't break down. All right, thank you very much, Content Grandmaster. Thank you very much for sharing that amazing stuff. All right, so we'll be going straight to page N. Share your day, sorry, we cannot keep the lady last. All right, so
That's
N,
fine.
how are you able to balance academics with making impact and making money?
Okay, so this question is actually very, very personal to me. Why do I say it's personal? Is because as an undergraduate, I have made mistakes that I have paid dearly for. Trust me, when I started my business, okay, you see, when on Instagram somebody is ordering soap or something or cream or whatever, I would skip my class to go to Peace Mass to go and deliver that soap. If somebody is saying, okay, make 10 soaps now, and I'm in class and I'm seeing the message, I will tell the lecturer, please, sir, I want to go and ease myself. Or please, sir, I want to go and do something. And he will let me go, and I will run straight to my hostel to go and do what I want to do about my business. The money got to me, okay. I made a mistake already. We can't take it back. And the reason I'm here is to try to help you not to make those mistakes. And what I feel like, I'll just tell you what I feel like I would have done better. Content Grandmaster said something that do what works for you. We are all different. Me, I'm a morning person. From 4 o'clock to 6, my brain is very, very active. And I would have had a book. And right now I'm still in school. I'm still an undergraduate. I'm not graduated yet. So I'm doing all those things now. Even though, thank God that they're not too late for me to be doing. So if you don't know how to really structure your academics and your business, you end up, if you focus more time on your business will end up crashing into your academics. And you don't want that. I mean, we're just in school for 4 years, 6 years. School is something that, we end one day. And your business is something that, you plan to take further in years. So I'm sure you should advise yourself that, okay, for now, this one should get my attention. I'm not saying you should leave your business. Okay, I was saying that I have a book, right, that I carry around in my bag and everything. And anytime I get an idea for my business, or maybe I have an idea of a content to post tomorrow, I always write down. It helps me a lot. So when I go back to my hostel, my house in the night, I just say, okay, this is what I wrote down. Before I started having the gifts of, volunteers to help me do design or to help me post, before I started having all those things, this is what worked for me. I always wrote down. I always planned. I made sure that everything that I wanted to do tomorrow was in my book today. So that really helped me a lot. Then another thing was, I cut out social distractions. Okay, normally I'm not the kind of girl that goes out every time. But in school now, their friends say, come, let's go to Nadia. Come, let's go to sorry, if you're not in Benin or Uniben, you will not understand. Let's go to one popular place. You want to follow everywhere. When you decide to be successful in running school and your business, you have to cut down. I'm not saying just stay in your house completely. You have to cut them down. Every time matters to you. Don't allow any time pass by chance, because every time is very, very precious. It's of essence to you. The time you're using to go to that place, you would have maybe created something for your business, or maybe you would have sent out one delivery, or for now, just realize that school is something that is temporal. Okay, I'm trying to read what he said. School is something that is temporal, and your business is something that you intend to do long term. So far, your business will definitely, suffer some things if you don't know how to plan in the beginning. But I believe that you get a hang of it. Don't say because okay, I'm getting a lot now. Maybe if you're maybe course creator that used to teach you how to sell on WhatsApp or one thing how to do on WhatsApp. Hey, I'm getting a lot now. Let me quickly go and do this one. Try to have a structure that works. For example, my skincare business, and I started doing me. I used to sneak out of class to go and deliver soap, and I started doing okay. Delivery days are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Those are the days that I had fewer classes. Those are the days that my classes used to end by 10 a.m., 8 to 10 a.m. I knew that okay, free time was on my hands. So if you think about impressing people that want to patronize your business and letting school suffer, you definitely regret it, because even the money that I get from your business, there's always time to make that income. Okay, so and when it's exam period, there's one thing I did also. When it's exam period, maybe 1 week to exam or 2 weeks to exam, I always used to say maintenance mode activated on my Instagram. Our reply, it means that when I say maintenance mode activated, it means that our replies will be slow. It means that our deliveries will be slow. It means that everything that we do normally are going to be slow, because I have limited time for it. Exam is just like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So everybody understands that okay, this brand is going to maintenance. Nobody really knows that it's because this guy is writing an exam. We all don't need to know that you're a student and stuff like that. So I believe overall, what I believe works for me now is just the balance. I know when to do this, and when to do that. Yeah.
Great. That's great. That's really amazing. First of all, she started by making mistake of leaving her classes to go and deliver, and now she actually learned how to balance it. So the core focus here is knowing what works, checking your timetable, and learning how to balance these things. All right. So because of time, let's just go straight to Sheyi Odebode. As an undergraduate, how are you able to balance academics with making impact, and more importantly, making money?
Thank you very much, Festus. Yeah, so after what happened, the story I began with, I started an organization, Achievers Connect, with my friends in my first year, and we grew our membership base. In my second year, I continued with that. Second year, I became quite involved in so many social impact programs. I'll travel out of school, different states, write applications, I'll get accepted into all of that. And to a large extent, it did affected my grades. I didn't study a whole lot. I had several issues, but it's when you do not succeed, you make excuses. So I have excuses, but I've decided to let those excuses off. Then I felt bad when I saw my my second year results. I felt terrible. And at my third year, I said, no, I need to get things right. I can still do it. I'm studying a 5-year course. I need to put in my effort and do very well. I don't want the C grade and C grade and C grade. Like, that was terrible. C grades are really terrible. And I knew what I could do. Yeah. And people look at you as someone that makes impact, and then they expect so much for you. They raise the bar for you. Then in my third year, I made certain decisions that affected me. And I'm so happy to share them with you, because these are not those things that someone told me, I'm so enthusiastic about letting you know them, but it's because this is something I did and something that worked for me. So in my third year, I became more intentional. I had goals. Okay, this is what I wanted. I'd seen what had happened already from my failure experience. And so I knew I wanted something better. For me, studying right now is not just to pass. I wanted distinctions in all of my courses. And so when I got started, I started reading. It's just so simple. Hey, let me tell you something simple here. When you get into the session or into the semester, just start reading. Spend 30 minutes or 1 hour. Like Ilesomi said, the Grandmaster, over time, consistency compounds. Just spend at least 1 hour just to review what has happened. Or if you want to go faster, to read ahead of your lecturer. I started spending time. I made it intentional. I would always read. So whenever a lecturer comes in class, I'm always into the conversation. I have questions to ask. Another thing I did also was I identified community of people who would help me. I have friends that, in school, call them scholars. This time around, I knew I needed help. And so I was not training to be a scholar when my grade last session was 4. No. I decided to get into their conversation. I would ask questions. They want to do assignment. Hey, how did you do yours? Blah, blah, blah. I decided to get help. I was no longer doing a lone ranger. I knew I'm a social being. I needed to associate with people who were doing well already. And so I was conscious on penetrating to that circle to see how they are doing it. And from there, I saw how this person was doing nothing different from them. I got ahead and I started doing so myself. Soon after time, I found that I was picking interest into this. I was consistent. Remember, I had a goal. That was the very first thing for me. And when my result would come out, I did amazingly well. I don't tell you what I had, but guys, I blasted my exam with A's, A's, A's. And honestly, I'm still hoping, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, to having the best of my academic grade when I'll be done with school. I hope one day I get back to this video and I say, yeah, I backed that degree because I had A's. I had 8 A's and 1 B in my course, and I felt so proud of myself. And I knew if I can reciprocate that, I'm going to do better next time. So now let's talk about impact rather, influence and income. I really wanted to say it because I couldn't say it the very first time. So someone out there may be looking at like, hey, this guy, okay, he's a public speaker, he has something that he can do. Oh, the coach does coaching or she sells stuff on IG and all of that. She has something she's doing. Ilesami is the content grandmaster, rather. He has something that he can do. Yes, you have something you can do to make impact. And your impact may not necessarily have to be teaching people public speaking. No. It may not necessarily have to be teaching people how to create content. No, it could just be anything that you do to someone that is helping them solve a problem. Anything that you do to someone that makes them happy. Anything that you do to someone that alleviates pain from them. Identify so many things that you do. That could be impact you can start building on. That could be impact you can start building. Identify them. I remember a particular student of mine, after reaching out to me, okay, I said that number so I could view her status. Recently, I started viewing her status once in a while because I realized she was always posting some quotes from philosophers that I'm attracted to. And from her, I'm like, wow, this person is actually posting all of this. I have intention that after studying her for a while, I'm going to say, hello, do you know you are really good at this? I want you to come out this way to continue because she does not know that she's even impacting me. I'm following up. I'm just saying this right now. Probably have to send her a message and please continue with this that you're doing because it's actually affecting me. I know you look at it, I should be the one helping you, but just these little words that you share every day, they are actually blessing my life and helping me refocus and shaping my thinking. That is it. So you have something that you can do. You may know how to dance. You may know how to sing. You may know how to. And some of you are very funny. Go ahead and make impact. You know, likes of Brashagi, Lazizi Elenu, they are making impact in their own sphere. They don't necessarily have to be the corporate guys and no, they are making impact. So that is it. Let's get into the aspect of influence. When we talk about influence, every one of us here, we influence people. The truth is, every one of us will wield influence. No matter how they say you're an introvert or you're extroverted, hey, you wield influence. According to a book from John C. Maxwell, Developing the Leader, he made a citation then to a particular psychologist that said even the introverts influence over 11,000 people in their lifetime. Even introverts influence over 11,000 people in their lifetime. This is because when you do things, you get to influence people. And it could also be the other way around. People also get to influence you. So you also have influence over people. And that influence can either be positive or the influence can be negative. But for the big game conference here, we're talking about positive influence. So I do not know what your personality type is. I want you to know that you can influence people. And the truth is, you have no idea the people you influence. That is it. When I started my story and I said I didn't come that day and somebody walked up to me. After that time, I had several experiences. People would just see me and say, hey, your face is familiar. Oh, 1000 LT. I'm in my 4th year now. I've left 1000 LT 4 years ago. But people still walk up to me and say, I can remember you, this guy, because they didn't tell me all of those things, but I had influenced their life. And so it was easy for me after a while. I got a book and I started marketing a book. That was the first sort of business. Like, okay, should I call it a business or something that gave me money on campus? I got this book. I decided to be an affiliate to sell his book, Femi Tiamiyu, A to Z of Campus Leadership. Because I had started speaking already, people would listen to me every Thursday. And to a large extent, they feel obliged to me because they've listened to my content and they are always coming every Thursday. So when I brought in that book, I began selling the book. I'll make profits. The book was for 1.5. I'll make 500 naira profits. I'm going to give the man 1,000 naira. So I did that consistently. After when I get to my 200 level, my department, I would dress corporate. So I put on my ties. Some people would call, hey, guy, your tie is really nice. I said, oh, thank you very much. The next time I went to redemption camp, I bought ties at redemption camp. I brought them to school. I spent money. You know what happened? I started selling ties. I started marketing ties to people. And people were getting my ties. Those are some of the businesses I went to. As I'll come to a wrap, Ilesami said something. To make income, you have to sell. My friend Mayowa Amoye, wherever you are, give me a shout out. He says something that keeps me going. He says, a sale a day drives Sapa away. A sale a day drives Sapa away. See, you need to sell something. It could be a product or it could be a service. That is how it happens. People who make money today, they sell something. Either a product, a service, whatever it is, you have to sell. So when you begin to make impact, you begin to influence life, and then income starts coming in. So I can put it as this: income precedes influence, and influence precedes impact. So you need to make impact before you can have influence, and then before you can begin to make money. So as an undergraduate, it is very possible for you. I want you to pay the sacrifice. Sacrifices are inevitable if you would want something. So like I said in my story, how I was able to balance this. I'm still a work in progress. Until I'm done with the university, that's when I can say, guys, I balance my education with this. Things can happen. We've all had our failure lessons, and then we have to take on to that lessons. But yeah, one important thing is, you know what you want. You're someone who's making impact. You're someone who is making income. You're someone who is having influence. So much are expected of you, and you wouldn't want to fail people. Therefore, you have to go the miles to make sacrifices. Like John C. Maxwell says, nothing worthwhile is ever easy. Nothing worthwhile is ever easy. You have to grind to do that. And even if you can join communities, I said I belong to a non-governmental organization, JCI. We provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. Guys, see, when I joined JCI in my second year, I saw other like minds who were thinking positive growth and development. And it, to a large extent, strengthened me. It fostered my interest. I was resolute on making impact. Why? Because I have other guys in my organization that were all focused about making impact. So something like that, you need to identify a community that is going to propel you into doing stuff that you want to do. They're going to be like a turbo to your fire, to your engine, so you can keep on running and running and running. Join organizations to volunteer. It's time for you to start making impact. Get on, make impact. Balance it, get the pivotal, look for what works for you, and sure, you will be able to do this. I have a whole lot to say, but I just look at that, I'm like, I have to restrain myself from talking. Thank you.
Grace, 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 go. I just wish this was a physical event where we can clap, where we can just clap, give a standing ovation for three wonderful panelists that have just spoken. It's been an awesome ride. Like, it's just like we should not lose, but we just have to. So if you got something, just be dropping the fire emoji, burn down the comment section with fire. Bishop Massimo will say fire, fire everywhere. All right, now the major thing you need to understand is, if you don't sell, Emeka Noble said it, you are wicked. And Sapa will treat you, Sapa will make you know the reason that you are wicked. If you don't sell, you are a very wicked person. All right? And then one advice from me is, as an undergraduate, please and please don't wait for when exam comes before you can start reading. That's the fastest way for you to fail. All right? Develop the habit of reading every day. Sheyi said it's 30 minutes, 1 hour. Just study what you've learned and everything, and then you can go on and make impact and make income. See, there's this joy that comes up with, I am not calling daddy or mommy to say, please send me money in school. Now, the thing is, if you are not selling in school, hunger will make you not read. Hunger will make you not focus. That kind of thing. So look for something, make impact, become influential around the people around people around you, and then make the hell out of the money, sell something. If you don't have anything to sell, go and become an affiliate marketer, affiliate for people and sell and make money. And you'll be thankful to yourself, and you'll be thankful to your generation that you started. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach N. Thank you, Content Grandmaster. Thank you, Sheyi Odemwingie, for joining us in this panelist section. I am sure a lot of persons have learned a lot of things. And if not for the next section, I would have loved us to stay here for the next 2, 3, 4 hours. All right, but then we just have to go. And then a quick one, guys. For those of you that are actually watching me, 7:10, 10 minutes past 7, we'll be coming up again with our next live session with Grace Kalu. All right, with Grace Kalu. So you could just take a while, just stretch out, and then by 7 minutes past 10 o'clock, you can. Sorry, by 10 minutes past 7, sorry. Okay, 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock. I'm very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry about that. So by 10 minutes past 8, we'll be back with Grace Kalu. All right, we'll be back with Grace Kalu. So if you have not shared the flyer of any of these events, if you have not shared the link of registration, now is the best time for you to share it. All right, tell them to get prepared because we're actually going to come and learn a lot. So we've learned a lot from the first section. We've learned from this wonderful undergraduates, and then we'll be learning from those who have actually graduated. So thank you very much, and do have a lovely evening. See you back in 10 minutes.